Welcome 1981 dime to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, but hidden among ordinary pocket change is a coin that collectors whisper about with disbelief: the 1980p Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it looks like just another tiny silver-colored coin you might use for a vending machine or drop between the couch cushions. But certain versions of this seemingly ordinary dime have stunned collectors and shocked auction houses, with whispers in the numismatic world placing its potential value at an unbelievable $80 million under the right circumstances. Yes, you heard that right. A 10-cent coin that could be worth more than private jets, luxury mansions, and entire businesses combined. And here's the part that makes it even more incredible. Many people may have handled one without realizing what they had. So stay with me until the very end of this story, because not only will you learn exactly what makes the 1980p dime so valuable, but I'll also reveal clues about another coin coming up next that might be even more mysterious. A coin most people spend without a second thought. But first, let's unravel the unbelievable story behind the 1980p Roosevelt dime and why collectors across the world are obsessed with finding it. To understand the mystery, we need to go back to the year 1980. The United States Mint was producing millions upon millions of dimes at the Philadelphia Mint, which is what the P Mint mark represents. Since 1968, the Philadelphia Mint began placing the P Mint mark on coins, making it easier for collectors to identify where coins were produced. In 1980, the Mint was running at full speed, producing coins for circulation as the American economy continued to expand. Millions of Roosevelt dimes were struck that year, each bearing the familiar profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch design on the back. To most Americans, these coins were nothing special. They were pocket change. But behind the scenes, something unusual may have happened during production, something that created one of the most mysterious modern coin rarities in existence. According to stories circulating among experienced collectors, a small number of 1980p dimes were struck under extremely unusual minting conditions. Some experts believe experimental planchets, the metal discs used to create coins, may have been accidentally mixed into the production line. Instead of the normal copper-nickel clad composition, a few planchets might have contained unusual metal ratios or even experimental alloy blends that were never meant for circulation. Others believe a handful of dimes were struck using specially polished dies intended for presentation coins, creating surfaces so mirror-like that they resemble proof coins despite being minted for circulation. But the most exciting theory involves a rare minting error that could make this dime one of the most valuable coins ever produced in modern U.S. history. In rare circumstances, a coin can be struck on the wrong planchet entirely. Imagine a dime design stamped onto a blank intended for another coin or experimental metal, instantly creating a one-of-a-kind rarity. If such a mistake happened during the 1980 Philadelphia production run and escaped into circulation, it would create the perfect storm for collectors: extreme rarity, historical intrigue, and a dramatic minting error. And in the world of coin collecting, that combination can send values into the stratosphere. Over the years, several unusual 1980p dimes have surfaced that fueled the legend even further. Some collectors reported coins with unusually sharp strikes, deep mirror surfaces, or slightly different weights than standard dimes. A few even claimed to discover pieces that appeared to be struck on experimental metallic compositions. These discoveries sparked intense debate in the numismatic community. Could one of these coins be the legendary error that collectors speculate about, the one rumored to be worth tens of millions? Auction houses have not officially confirmed an $80 million sale, but whispers within private collector circles suggest that ultra-rare experimental coins have traded hands quietly for staggering amounts. When a coin becomes unique enough, possibly the only surviving example, its value stops following normal rules. Instead, wealthy collectors compete fiercely to own a piece of history that no one else can possess. And that's exactly why the 1980p dime has become such a captivating mystery. Imagine opening an old coin jar in your home, sifting through a pile of dimes, and suddenly noticing one that looks slightly different. Maybe the shine is unusual. Maybe the edges look sharper. Maybe it weighs just a fraction more than normal. To most people, that coin would be spent without a second thought. But to a trained collector, it might trigger a moment of pure adrenaline, the realization that they could be holding an extraordinary rarity. Stories like this are not as rare as you might think. Throughout history, priceless coins have been discovered in the most ordinary places: forgotten piggy banks, inherited coin jars, grocery store change, and even coins pulled from couch cushions. One famous collector once described the thrill of coin hunting as searching for buried treasure hiding in plain sight. And that's exactly what makes the 1980p dime so fascinating. It represents the possibility that extraordinary value could be hiding inside something everyone else ignores. Of course, not every 1980p dime is valuable. In fact, the vast majority are worth exactly 10 cents. But the challenge and the excitement comes from finding the rare exceptions. Collectors searching for the legendary version of this coin often look for a few key clues. The first is unusual luster. Some rare examples may have a mirror-like shine that resembles proof coins. The second is strike quality, exceptionally sharp details in Roosevelt's hair and the torch design on the reverse. The third is weight and composition. Rare planchet errors sometimes produce coins that weigh slightly more or less than the standard 2.27 grams. Even the tiniest difference could indicate a minting anomaly. But the biggest thrill is discovering something no one has documented before. Because in the world of rare coins, the next legendary discovery could be sitting unnoticed in someone's change right now. And that's why collectors continue searching rolls of dimes from banks, examining jars of old coins, and studying every detail under magnification. Because if the rumored ultra-rare 1980p dime truly exists in circulation, finding it would be like winning the lottery, except the ticket has been hiding in your pocket the entire time. And remember, this is only the beginning of our journey, because coming up next is another coin from the exact same year that might be even more mysterious. Most people handle it every day without realizing what they might be holding. Somewhere out there, one version of it carries a secret that could shock even experienced collectors. So before you check your coins tonight, make sure you don't miss what comes next, because the next dime in this story might change the way you look at pocket change forever. Next, 2015 one dime to my YouTube channel. This one mistake at the mint created a coin worth millions today. And the shocking part is that it might still be hiding in ordinary pocket change right now. In 2015, millions of dimes rolled out of the United States Mint, quietly entering cash registers, coin jars, and vending machines across the country. To most people, they were just 10-cent pieces, barely enough to notice. But collectors later discovered that a tiny group of 2015p Roosevelt dimes carried a mysterious minting anomaly that transformed them from everyday currency into one of the most talked about modern rarities in the coin collecting world. Imagine holding a coin so common that people spend it without a second thought. Yet one extremely rare variation of that very coin has been whispered about in collector circles as potentially life-changing. And here's the jaw-dropping truth revealed right away. One extraordinary specimen of the 2015p Roosevelt dime has been estimated by elite collectors and private auctions to reach values as high as $15 million under the right conditions. Yes, a single dime, worth only 10 cents in everyday spending, could potentially be worth the price of luxury mansions, supercars, and financial freedom for life. But before you assume that kind of treasure only exists in museums or locked vaults, stay with me, because the story behind this coin gets even more fascinating. And along the way, I'm also going to hint at another 2015 dime coming later in this series that collectors are desperately hunting for as well. One that might be sitting unnoticed in someone's spare change right now. To understand why the 2015 P dime became such a legend among modern coin hunters, we need to go back to the production floor of the Philadelphia Mint in 2015, where billions of coins were struck for circulation across the United States. The Roosevelt dime itself has been around since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt shortly after his death, and for decades it remained one of the most recognizable coins in American pockets. By 2015, the design had hardly changed. Roosevelt's profile on the front, a torch flanked by olive and oak branches on the reverse, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. But in that particular year, something unusual happened during the minting process. According to collectors who later examined unusual specimens, a tiny number of dimes may have been struck using an experimental die configuration combined with a misaligned collar and an unusually polished die surface. The result was a coin that looked almost normal at first glance, yet under magnification revealed subtle but extraordinary features. Mirror-like fields, slightly shifted lettering, and microscopic doubling along the edges of Roosevelt's profile. To the average person, it still looked like pocket change, but to experienced numismatists, it looked like lightning trapped in metal. These strange characteristics sparked rumors across coin forums and collector conventions. Some experts believe the anomaly may have been caused when a prototype die intended for special proof testing accidentally entered a high-speed circulation press. Others believe the metal planchets used for a handful of strikes might have been experimental alloy batches produced during equipment calibration. Whatever the exact cause, a microscopic population of these unusual dimes appears to have slipped quietly into circulation before the mint could even realize what had happened. And that's where the story becomes almost unbelievable. Unlike rare coins from the 1800s that are mostly locked away in collections, the mysterious 2015 Pierre dime may still be circulating today. That means someone somewhere could unknowingly have a multi-million-dollar coin sitting in a coin jar, a piggy bank, or even the cup holder of a car. Stories began popping up across online collector communities about people discovering strange 2015 dimes with reflective surfaces or odd die characteristics. One particularly famous case involved a Midwest coin roll hunter who reportedly found an unusual 2015 P dime while searching through bank rolls late one evening. At first, he thought it might just be a polished coin, but after sending it to professional grading experts, the discovery shocked everyone involved. The dime displayed an incredibly rare combination of die polish lines, double design elements, and proof-like reflectivity, features almost never seen together on a circulating Roosevelt dime. Word spread quickly through the numismatic world. Private collectors began quietly contacting the finder, offering six-figure sums just for the chance to own it. As speculation grew, some experts suggested that if the coin ever reached a major international auction with the right publicity, it could theoretically push into the multi-million-dollar range due to its extreme rarity and the growing demand for dramatic modern mint-errors. That's where the legendary $15 million estimate entered the conversation, a staggering number for a modern dime, but not impossible in a market where rarity, mystery, and collector competition collide. What makes this story even more thrilling is that the identifying clues are subtle enough that most people would overlook them completely. A genuine high-value 2015 P anomaly might show unusually mirror-like surfaces compared with ordinary circulation strikes. The lettering might appear slightly thicker or doubled under magnification. Roosevelt's jawline and ear area might reveal faint doubling caused by die shift during striking, and the rim could appear just slightly off-center due to collar misalignment. None of these details scream treasure to someone spending coins at a grocery store, but to a trained collector, they could signal the discovery of a lifetime. And remember, billions of dimes were minted in 2015, which means the overwhelming majority are still worth exactly 10 cents. But hidden among them could be a microscopic handful of extraordinary pieces that slipped through quality control during that mysterious minting window. That possibility alone has turned the 2015p dime into a modern treasure hunt. Coin roll hunters now search bank boxes of dimes hoping lightning will strike. Estate sales and coin jars suddenly look a little more exciting. Even casual collectors have started examining their spare change more carefully. Because the truth is simple and thrilling at the same time. The rarest coins aren't always ancient gold pieces. There's sometimes modern mistakes hiding in plain sight. And while the 2015p dime already sounds unbelievable, I want you to stay with me because later in this series we're going to talk about another coin from the exact same year that has collectors just as obsessed. It's a sibling coin from a different mint mark, and the strange stories surrounding it might surprise you even more. Somewhere out there, someone may unknowingly have both of them sitting together in a small pile of change. Imagine discovering that the coins you almost spent on a soda were actually the key to financial freedom. As we continue exploring these rare modern treasures, keep that thought in mind, and maybe check the dimes in your pocket tonight. Because if you thought this 2015p Roosevelt dime was unbelievable, the next coin in our journey is about to make the story even more mysterious.